Hinter diesen Mauern herrscht die Gewalt. Was wie ein Albtraum beginnt, wird zur Wirklichkeit. The House of Usher.
Er will dich. Du sollst ihm einen Erben gebären. Er ist der letzte der Ushers.
Eine Familie, die jahrhundertelang nur Schrecken verbreitet hat.
Nein, ich werde nie mit dir ins Bett gehen.
Der Treibende ist unter der Dusche.
Hinter diesen Mauern herrschen Angst und Grauen.
Ich könnte dir nie wehtun. Das könnte
Niemand kann sich den Ushers in den Weg
Diese
stellen.
Ratte genau an, Doktor. Sie hat seit Tagen nichts zu fressen bekommen. Sie ist fast wahnsinnig vor Hunger.
Dem Horror in diesem Haus kann niemand entkommen.
Wir haben ihn erst betäubt. Und dann wurde er lebendig begraben. Oh mein Gott.
Es wurde ein Pakt mit dem Teufel geschlossen. Eine Familie, die von dem Bösen beherrscht wird. The House of Usher von Edgar Allan Poe mit Oliver Reed und Donald Pleasence. The House of Usher.
Don't take her! Madeline! No! Let me go!
Only the incomparable genius of Edgar Allan Poe could knit them so closely together. The burning passions of the purest of loves. The deadly passions of the madly prurient.
Madeline, you're leaving this house with me tomorrow.
Only I could.
For hundreds of years, evil thoughts and evil deeds have been committed within these walls. The house itself is evil now.
Here they all are. Ushers.
This is monstrous.
It waits for me, because very soon I shall be dead.
Oh, Madeline, come away with me now.
Where is she? You buried your own sister alive!
I did. But she's dead now.
The master hand of the macabre creates its masterpiece.
Good evening, goblins and ghouls, and welcome to the Friday Night Scream Stream. I'm your host, Spakenstein, joined as always by my very good friend, Mr. Evan Sink.
Good evening, everybody.
How we doing tonight, Evan?
I'm doing great. I'm feeling great. I've had a great week. Hope everybody else has. We've got a full house here tonight. We're not
very
even
lively chat. You
Yeah.
love to see it. And already making me laugh my ass off, I must say. Y'all are cracking me up already. So we're off to a great start, a rollicking start. Happy Friday, everyone. Yeah, hey, everybody in the chat. Alana, Sears, Tom, Scott, Fresh, Drunk Review in the house. Tom, wait, I already said Tom. Let's see, I had James. Let's scroll up here. I don't want to miss anybody. You know, I hate to miss people. Yeah, I hope everybody's having a good Friday so far. We're going to enjoy it like we always do with some good old-fashioned public domain horror. And when I say old-fashioned, I mean old-fashioned. Yes. I see the murmurs are already going around in the chat, and I will confirm, yes, tonight we are watching a silent film.
Done.
It's always such a controversial choice. We do it every season except Summer of Schlock, though. I give everybody Summer of Schlock off from silent films. But it's always our second film of the season, where, you know, we started off season 15 strong last week, celebrating Frankenstein Day. A lot of fun there. had a good old time. And so now we're keeping the patterns going like I tend to do. And we're going to have our silent film as the second movie up. So, but I don't think this is like a majority of the silent films at the time. I think this will stand out. But, well, I mean, again, you know, anytime you got a film that's coming from a story based on one of the iconic pieces of horror literature from one of the most iconic authors in horror literature, it's kind of a treat.
Yeah. Who do we have tonight? You might have guessed if you maybe you don't read French so well like me, but
right, because I've got the title here like I always do, but guess what? And I'm not even going to attempt to say the French title. Tonight we are watching The Fall of the House of Usher, of course, a French adaptation of Edgar Allan Poe's classic story, and this is really a very expressionistic, kind of, I don't know if you'd really say avant-garde, but it's
well, it feels like we already watched that.
We did, right? Doesn't it?
Yeah. Anybody have any comments on what we just saw
on that short?
That was pretty wild.
It was insane. Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about what was it that we saw? The Alice.
Alice Curious
short.
Alice.
Curious Alice.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't. That's probably been the craziest short that we've seen since Curious Alice, for sure.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Spilling lemon juice.
Contrary to what Fresh assumed, not a German expressionist film. That little short was produced in the good old U.S. of A. And it was actually the same year as tonight's film, 1928. You had both of these adaptations of Fall of the House of Usher come out in 1928, and they're both kind of a little bit more art films than purely entertainment. Clearly, what we just saw was very much an art film, very expressionist. Evan put it in a good way when he said that you could have said that was a student art film from like any time, you know, between the 20s and the 60s, and you wouldn't, you know, even later, you wouldn't know. Did David Lynch shoot that? What's going on? Yeah, you know, I mean, it just, I mean, it was crazy. It was really cool. So this movie is really, I wouldn't say it's that stylized, because it's got to sustain itself for an hour, and you would probably get motion sickness after, you know, 30 minutes of that. So this doesn't do quite like that much, but some similar techniques, honestly. So
yeah, it's not usual that we get to watch just the same movie twice, you know, one night.
Right? Yeah, it's very rarely can
we get to compare both now.
Well, and I almost chose a completely different surrealistic short that is very famous because the director of that short was the co-writer of tonight's film. He's a famous surrealist filmmaker named Luis Buñuel. And Buñuel, right after this, made this short film called Un Chien Andalou, which is an Andalusian dog. That's what it means. But it's just a crazy surrealist short that he did with Salvador Dali. And so it just has all this crazy imagery. Like there's a close-up of a hand with like ants crawling out of like a hole in it. Like, right? Like there's all kinds of, like there's an eyeball that just gets like sliced like in a close-up. Like they have a close-up and slice it. Because that's the thing. That's
so much.
The surrealists, it was all about shocking you and assaulting you with the art, right? And so, so that's the thing. So, but we'll talk about Buñuel's involvement here because it's interesting. He collaborated with the director, writer, co-writer, producer of this, Jean Epstein, and they both kind of, I think, were in this school of more art film, avant-garde filmmakers in France at the time. But we'll get into it again. I know silence can be controversial, but this is gonna have like, there's a lot of quick editing here, a lot of camera movement, a lot of trick photography. Like it does, again, I think it's very unconventional for the usual silent film at the time.
Before the show, Garrett compared it to Cat and the Canary, which we watched last winter.
Yeah, last winter. November. Yeah, November.
Yeah, November. Which pretty energetic for a silent film.
Right. Yeah. Oh God, there was. Yeah. I mean, so much camera movement and so much
interesting visuals.
Right. And I told Evan too, and I would compare tonight's film to that, and it's half an hour shorter. So,
which always helps if you're trying to, keep your silent movie snappy.
You want, I mean, yeah, that's how you know it's snappy. If I'm telling you that it's quick editing and it's only a little over an hour, it's gonna be pretty solid.
Yeah, well, those French people, they have things to do.
They do, yeah. Oh God, they don't like their time to be wasted.
There's no time. I don't have time to sit in the cinema all day.
No, absolutely. Well, some of them do. Somebody, this will be the first French film that we've watched on the show. Did you know that? Ever. I don't think we've watched a single French film on the show before. So yeah, look at that. We're broadening our horizons. Speaking of broadening our horizons, as always, every week, Evan helps us broaden our horizons by pairing a delicious cocktail to go with the evening's film in a little segment which he calls...
What were you drinking?
And what are we going to be drinking tonight, Evan?
Well, tonight we're going to be shaking down the house with what I'm calling the Cracked Foundation. And what this is a variation on the Stone Sour, which we've done a variation on that before, way back, a long time ago when we were watching The Golem.
Oh, another silent film.
Der Golem. Yeah.
Der Golem.
Yeah, maybe that's another tradition.
Now, Fresh liked Der Golem. I know Fresh liked Der Golem.
I like Der Golem.
Der Golem wasn't bad.
That was pretty fun. I like the guy's the Golem costume. But we're doing it's a variation on the Stone Sour, which is itself a Stone Sour is just a whiskey sour, but with orange juice.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
So just a little bit extra sweet. But what we're doing, we're going whiskey, pomegranate juice, lemon juice, and of course simple syrup. We're making a sour, and we've talked about sours on the show before, and I stand by the opinion that if you're unsure and you're wanting to get into trying to learn how to mix drinks, start with a sour.
Mm-hmm.
They're simple, delicious, very flexible. 2 parts spirit, 1 part sour, 1 part sweet, usually fruit juice and simple syrup. Even just sweet and sour mix.
Right.
That's just sweet and sour. It's just lemonade, by the way.
Oh, just right. Essentially.
Yeah. Isn't it? If I put concentrated lemon juice and sugar and water in a jug, what would you call that?
I guess I'd have to call it lemonade.
Right.
But I'm interested in the pomegranate juice. I think that's the interesting.
Yeah, I wanted to keep things a little extra twisted tonight. I was going to try to lean more on the sour side. And so I thought, instead of, as much as I love orange juice, it's very sweet and very delicious, I want something a little tart.
Right.
And maybe something a little bloody.
Right, that's what right. Just that little hint of blood. And yeah, fresh. I think you should definitely try it with the Wendy's sweet and sour sauce. I think that would be a really interesting flavor explosion. So you should try that out. And yeah, but don't be like Kathy and put tequila in it. Don't substitute tequila.
Well, that's the fun thing about sours. They're flexible.
You can put in whatever you want.
Put in anything sweet, anything sour.
Boom. Sounds like good advice. Look at that. You heard it. You heard it from Evan. For all you beginning mixologists out there, he told you how to get your start.
Get sour.
Get sour. Very nice. Very good.
Well, they're coming up hot right now, and I gotta say I'm really liking the color.
Ooh, okay.
I almost feel like that needs a little umbrella.
I know, right? I mean, no, dude, just the little lemon. Yeah, I mean, even that in there looks looking good. All right, well. Smells good, looks good.
Without any further ado, cracked foundation, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's simple and it's damn tasty.
Yeah.
There's a tartness to it, kind of.
There is, but it's not too. It's definitely not too tart at all.
I feel like I'm getting. It's like in the roof of my mouth on the way, the aftertaste. It trails through. It kind of tickles the roof of your mouth. You get like one tart note.
Yeah, I mean it really. There's a fullness to it, but it's not.
I think it's the whiskey.
Yeah, it's definitely the whiskey.
Yeah.
The whiskey combines well with the lemon juice and the pomegranate juice kind of give it this other kind of like context. I don't know.
I like it.
It's doing some stuff. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. We're gonna enjoy this as this house falls.
Well, yeah, cracked foundation to go with our cracked foundation. Hell yeah. I think this would be perfect to pair with the film. I saw Ty Fire Eagle in the chat. Welcome, Ty. Hope you're doing well tonight. Well, I mean, yeah. Again, this is a movie I haven't really seen it. I've glimpsed it. Let's put it that way. I've glimpsed a lot of it.
Yeah.
I didn't really sat and watched it.
Okay.
I'll elaborate on that later. But yes,
it was on one time across the room in a very crowded. People were talking very loud.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It was one of those situations. 100%. William in the chat. Welcome, William. Hope you're having a good Friday so far. Yeah, this is again, and this has a reputation for being one of the better Poe adaptations. It's been on a lot of best of lists. It's on Roger Ebert's list of favorite films. Akira Kurosawa was on his list of favorite films. So it's up there.
Have we watched Poe?
We have, but I'm gonna say I've actually got a break.
Okay.
Kind of built.
We got something to say about that.
Well, not much, but it was more like I needed trailers for the break, and I didn't quite know what would be relevant. I didn't want to just throw a bunch of random Poe trailers in, so I included trailers for the ones that we've seen before. So think about it in the back of your mind, and then at the first break, I'll ask you if you remember. So don't answer now. Let's see. All right. Well, Evan, anything before we get into the Fall of the House of Usher?
Have you guys read the short story?
I'm pretty sure I have, but I feel like it was a long time.
Do you think that the crack in the house and the foundation was a metaphor for how they didn't have that like concrete spray stuff that they do nowadays.
Right. Well, really, all you would need is some Flex Seal to slap on that.
Yeah.
Baby. That house would have lasted for another century.
Billy Mays wouldn't have let this house fall apart.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Phil Swift would never let that happen. It's again, if you've read the story, I mean, it's one of Poe's like most classic stories, like generally. I don't know if like personally, like Evan, I don't know if you'd put it in your top Poe stories, but I'd say it's probably it considered probably one of the top 3 best stories that he authored.
It's definitely one of the most well known. Like I feel like everybody knows The Raven, The Telltale Heart, and then probably House of Usher,
House
right?
of Usher. Yeah. But hasn't really been adapted a lot. I wonder why. Maybe we'll save that conversation. We'll talk a little bit about that later. But clearly, there's a lot going on with this story, so should be fun to get into. So, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into the exciting beginning of The Fall of the House of Usher right now.
Are these the tapes?
Does Poe have an umlaut over the E?
Does it?
I don't know if it normally does. Oh, and okay, so you know what? Yes, there are some French intertitles in this movie. There are no subtitles on this. So if we've got any fluent French speakers out there that want to interpret for us tonight, that's your challenge. But there's really not too many intertitles. It's really mostly focused on action because there is so much action. Accent over the O. Jack in the house. Welcome, Jack. I like to read 3 letters at a time.
So this would be so much easier if I could just mount this to my face somehow. Aurez-vous.
Tell me how to get to Usher's place. I think that's what that said. I'll try to interpret it. I don't speak French. And remember, the Monopoly Man does not have a monocle. That's a Mandela effect thing. You know that,
Is that
right?
true?
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Never? None of them?
Never, dude.
Huh. Yeah, maybe he doesn't. He's just got the mustache.
Mm-hmm.
wears a hat, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I was gonna Mandela effect myself.
He doesn't even wear a hat, does he? Keep your money, pal. Psst, 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 psst. Usher, Usher, Usher.
Would you like some crazy tea?
Old radios in the house. Welcome, old radios. Hope
Old
you're doing
radios.
well tonight. Right, it's Berenstein. I know it's Berenstein. Usher. The Manor. Sir Roderick. Recluse, Madeline, Nervous, Tyrant, Tyrannique.
The manor is in ruins. Roderick lives with.
Look at Evan.
Lives with his sister. Something. This is a huge room.
It is wild. Big set.
They look like ants.
We got some kind of magic painting deal going on.
Got a voodoo painting. Horace, stop. Stop.
Go all round, horse. Go all round.
Do horses like to splash? Are they like dogs?
That's a good question. Something about the horse. I know Cheval.
Ah.
Right? man. I guess this is his very good friend. I wish I was friends with the Monopoly guy. Whoa! Is that doctor?
It's windy in this house. But then again, it's like they live in a cave.
Pretty much. Could you imagine the echo?
You think that one fireplace is going to keep that whole room warm?
I'd need to be worried about 5 blankets to really be at the perfect temperature. This guy looks like the Phantom of the Opera. It's a picture of his sister that he painted.
She blinked.
Ah, okay, Fresh. Thank you. I was wondering what you said. That's crazy, Alana.
Oh, whoa.
I want to go to some cave clubs.
Dance cave.
So you got a fever?
Hmm.
Rave in the cave. Oh shit. Oh shit. I'm sure somebody's done. Someone has to have done that. Especially if your club is right near a cave. I'm so cold.
my books.
I don't know why all the curtains in this house move in slow motion.
There's something about that shot before that was kind of creeping me out.
Eerie.
Yeah. Sheesh.
He's playing the music. It's from the heart, bro. He's just the music comes from his soul and nature.
I feel
it's all
transported.
connected. You just gotta feel the rhythm, man. You really need to tune that guitar, my guy.
It's a good thing this is a silent movie.
Couldn't tell you. Strange passion. Something new for Roger. Something about a song.
Cosson's Dangereux.
Something about the genealogy of the
tree.
Ushers.
everybody just keeps an oil painting of their family tree, right?
Don't. I don't know, go for a walk. I don't know, promenade.
Sounds about right.
I think this guy's had a little too much to drink. You told him to go walk it off. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And that is gonna take us to our first break. Were you not expecting it to pop up there, Evan?
I knew it was gonna be fairly quick.
Yeah. Well, we're a third of the way through The Fall of the House of Usher. What are we thinking so far, Evan?
So I thought you said there was only going to be a little bit of French in this movie.
I didn't think it was that much, but maybe it was a little more. But
Yeah, welcome to French class, everybody.
I don't think we're missing that much.
No,
Come on.
It's The Fall of the House of Usher. Like
Right.
we pretty
We
much
know the
we
shape
know
of the
how
story.
it's gonna go.
Although, did you pick up here? So she's not his sister here. She's his wife. Did you pick that up?
Not pick that up.
So that's the big difference here.
That gets rid of the weird kind of like vaguely incestuous.
Yeah, I was gonna say
element.
the incest angle.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
just clears out that whole thing. Just smooths it out. No problem.
Probably why this story doesn't get adapted too often, because they gotta but apparently that was a point of contention in making this movie. So Luis Buñuel, the surrealist that I talk about, who was the co-writer, he ended up quitting this film. He was also the assistant director, and he had been working with the producer director Epstein for like at least the movie he did before this. Buñuel was the assistant director for that, and then he during the making of this film quit because of creative differences, and the theory is that that was the big change that Buñuel didn't agree with, was making. Yeah,
he was a purist,
right? Well, thinking that the intent and the meaning of Poe's story is really like kind of tied to that. Like if you change that, you're changing.
This just change. It just ruins it.
It ruins
this
it.
ruins
You're
it for
ruining
me.
You're ruining it.
That was my favorite part of the story.
Yeah, I think it probably was for Buñuel. Again, Buñuel is very much a surrealist, and I mean, he went on to direct, write, produce movies all the way into the 1960s. I mean, he had a very long career after this, and he liked to shock, and he did a lot of satire and a lot of black comedy, and he had a really great career. But I mean, this was just a case of like wanting the material to be edgy, and just didn't quite agree. Yeah. Oh, I know. Mad. But I mean, I think so far, it's moved like fairly well. I mean, it's very atmospheric, right? Like it's not like story heavy. I wouldn't call it like very too heavy on story. But I kind of like that.
The cutting has been like surprisingly quick.
Yeah, so I wasn't lying about that, right?
Yeah, yeah, they're not. You know, it doesn't feel like a slow movie. They're not just languishing on these long shots.
No, I mean, even that, you know, him playing guitar, they didn't just stay with him playing guitar for a minute and a half. They cut to all these other things, and like it was a montage, and it was, yeah. I mean, again, silent films. It's just.
It was crazy. I can't believe a silent film made me feel something.
Who knew? Who knew the power of almost 100-year-old films? I mean, that's it right there. Yeah, I mean, the editing's been good. You know, the sets, obviously, they're not as crazy as that short that we saw. But there's still, you know, again, the expansiveness of the sets.
Yeah, there's an uncanniness to that.
That's where...
Why are they so big?
Right. Well, I think that's a little more of kind of like the intersection of like expressionism and impressionism, right? And I feel like impressionism compared to expressionism, it's a little more realistic, but there's something about there's something off to it, or there's something not natural about it anyway, even though it's still realistic. And in this case, it's the expansiveness, right? Yeah. Like it just doesn't feel, and that's where, again, a movie like the shirt I'm wearing, Son of Frankenstein, you think about like the set design in that movie, where the sets are huge, like the ceilings are huge, the walls are high, like everything is exaggerated and angular. There's just kind of that has an effect on you as a viewer. I love when you can play with the set like that, and that's the thing.
Makes me feel small.
Right, that makes you, and that must be what it is. Because like here, there's not crazy angles. They're not like doing the expressionist like jaggedness and starkness. They're not going overboard in the expressionism sense. But I mean, and I wouldn't quite call it surrealism 100% either. But you know, you can see just
not yet.
General artistic not yet. That's a good point. But you see the general artistic influence, and music helps. So
yeah, did this one have like a paired original score, or? So
when I was like trying to find a good quality copy today, I was looking around and couldn't find, like, either I'd find an old version with an old score, but it's copyrighted, or it's a new score somebody made, but it's copyrighted, or it's basically, yeah, there's no original score that goes with this. So it was literally put together by your boy in like a few hours before this show started.
Oh
wow. So yeah, so wow, I arranged the music for tonight.
Wow. Well, give it up for Garrett, musical accompaniment tonight.
I mean, again, I've had to use classical public domain music before, so a little bit of a like experience scrambling trying to find things that fit.
Yeah.
But I did have a little help from our intern Chathu. Chathu did offer some suggestions. And yeah, I mean, it was a rush job, but this is my favorite thing about any time I've edited something and I'm putting music on a piece of film, and I'm just grabbing a random piece of music and I'm like, God, I hope this like lines up to some degree. And then it like lines up like kind of scary good. Like, you know, back when Evan and I were making movies back in the day, that was one of my favorite parts, is I'd finish editing it and then I'd go find some music to put on it. And then when things would like line up with a piece of action or something else, it's like,
it's such a nice feel. It's just like serendipitous.
Right. And so I had that today doing this, like, thankfully. And you know, I was it was trying to give me some slower, kind of more like, you know, I think trying to be more dreamlike kind of pieces. And I was like, no, I want big. This is a silent movie. I got to keep people's attention. We need to keep the energy up. So I think it's doing that, but we've got.
Well, you could have gone in any direction with it then.
You
could have put beach guitar over.
Well, I thought it had some, like, it was giving me some flamenco type things. Then I was just like, that's not gonna cut it. That's not gonna work. Like, I was trying to find something with guitar that I could line up there, and I just went with Dance Macabre because it was, all right, he's playing music, and this is kind of a weird scene. So Dance Macabre is like a good kind of weird, choice. So yeah, I mean, it was a fun thing to script because, again, I was just like, when we watched Cat and the Canary, do you remember there was no music?
Yeah, it was just quiet.
It was just quiet, and I had wanted to do the same thing. I wanted to try to put music on it, but it was like, I found out on that day, I don't have a copy with good music. So it was a similar situation today, but I had just enough time, and the movie was just short enough. If it was another 30 minutes, I would have needed another 2 hours, and I didn't have another 2 hours. I got lucky. So,
worked out.
Yeah, so that's what I mean when I say, like, I haven't seen the movie, but I kind of had to see the movie.
Gotcha.
To kind of figure out, like, what music would work and if it was lining up. So, yeah, it was fun. It was, I love a good challenge. So, the other question that we asked before we got into the movie, or you asked specifically, Evan, were what other Edgar Allan Poe adaptations that we've watched on the show? Do you have a guess? Do you remember?
Have we done Telltale Heart or like a play on that?
We did watch a cartoon before The Terror, way back in season 1.
Yeah.
That was based on the Telltale Heart.
Yeah.
We have seen 2 movie adaptations. And those are the 2 trailers we're going to see for this break.
Okay.
So the first is for the most recent one that we saw, which was Dr. Tar's Torture Dungeon. Do you remember that?
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, how could I forget?
How could you forget? I mean, honestly, like, that movie was so wild, I've forgotten a lot of it. I need to go watch it again.
I remember the movie, but I forgot that was like it was a Poe.
That was it, right? And it's based on the short story "The System of Dr. Tar and Professor Feather." Well, guess what? The only other Poe adaptation that we've seen is also loosely based on the System of Dr. Tar and Professor Feather.
Don't
and that's,
look in the basement.
Look at you, Evan, right on the
I
money.
remember that one.
I remember that one. Don't look in the basement. So that's the second trailer that we're going to see. So yeah, it's funny that the only other 2 Poe adaptations that we've had are both based on the same story, but they're both wildly different adaptations. And then we've seen, again, like, The Terror was a Poe knockoff. It wasn't Poe. The Dungeon of Harrow was a Poe knockoff. It wasn't Poe. Right, so we've had a mix of things with Poe elements, but not straight up Poe. So get a little bit of Poe here. Yeah, don't even fresh. We don't even have time to get into Teletubbies lore right now. Okay,
it runs deep.
It's too deep for us to cover in the remaining time that we have. We'll have to save that for another stream. But we're going to get these 2 trailers for Edgar Allan Poe adaptations we watched previously on the show. And then when we come back, we'll get into the exciting middle of The Fall of the House of Usher. So stick around. We'll be right back.
I was sent deep into the forest to seek out the master of an asylum and to find out what was happening there. If only I knew then what I was soon to find out. What was he shouting?
The names of the devil.
Welcome to the Council.
Once inside, it began, one shock after another.
Please believe me. His powers are immense. We are helpless before his evil.
Ah, Monsieur Legrand and Eugenie. It was an asylum, but it was run by a madman. Innocent people were chained, beaten, and tortured, and put into glass cages. This was hell on earth. Would I, too, become a victim of the cages?
Help me. Help me. Help. Oh, no. Oh, no. Please, no.
As I went deeper and deeper into the dungeons, the horrors became greater and greater. This is the Edgar Allan Poe film that is so shocking that it will never appear on television. See it if you dare.
Don't look in the basement. The makers of Last House on the Left warn you again. To avoid fainting, keep repeating. It's only a movie. Only a movie. Only a movie. The line between sanity and madness can be crossed in a single step. And with this step, you enter the nightmare world of terror. On the day the insane took over the asylum. Judge Cayman, whose iron self-control hides the urge to kill. Harriet, a mother's love, twisted into the malignant shape of evil. The sergeant, living in the hell of an aimless war, fighting a battle within himself that he lost long ago. Allison, in a desperate need for love, an obsession that could drive her to murder. Danny, whose sense of humor triggers a violent act of revenge. Dr. Masters, who has her own idea of the gentle art of healing, and Charlotte, who left the world of sanity and security, only to be trapped in the nightmare world of madness, a nightmare she cannot escape. They all met on the day the insane took over the asylum. Don't look in the basement. From Hallmark Releasing Corporation, rated R.
And we are back. So that was the trailers for Dr. Tar's Torture Dungeon and Don't Look in the Basement.
You get a real rogues gallery in that second trailer.
Yeah, I love how they set all the characters up. I didn't realize it was that involved.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Every side character. Here's this guy's deal.
Here's their hang up. Yeah, it's fun. And Alana, no, that's not the Kevin movie it's by the same director. SF Brown Rig, that was Keep My Grave Open. So yes, that was the movie with Kevin, the brother. But yes, so those are our two Poe adaptations that we've seen previously, and both fun, I'd say. Dr. Tar's Torture Dungeon's definitely a lot. It's a trip.
A lot.
Would you, now that you've seen The Devils, would you at any level kind of group it in some kind of category with The Devils?
Yeah, I mean they're both very shocking movies. I would almost say I would almost say The Devils felt like it was trying a bit too hard. Maybe in that way, that regard.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Whereas the Dr. Tar's Torture Dungeon, everything that was really shocking and horrific about that one felt more, I don't know, less shoehorned in, I guess.
Yeah, it was all very. I was gonna use the word organic to what was going on in the story, but it's not even organic's not the right word, because it's so bizarre. Everything in the movie is so bizarre.
Yeah, that's kind of the other thing. It's so strange.
Yeah.
It's shocking, but it's almost comedic in a way.
Right. Yeah, it was incredibly comedic. I think that's an easy thing to forget about that movie. Yeah, I mean, it was a really solid one. It was really good. So yeah, it's funny that the only other two Poe adaptations we've seen are both insane people taking over an asylum.
Isn't there a Man on Fire in Don't Look in the Basement? Or am I thinking of a different one?
You're thinking of something else, and I can't think off the top of my head what it is. I don't think there's a Man on Fire in that one. I mean, a dude takes an axe to the back. Man on Fire. I know we had. I know what was it? I had just had it in my brain. There was something we've seen in a Man on Fire, but I don't think it was what you were talking about. Oh, it was Curse of Bigfoot, where the Bigfoot gets lit on fire at the end. We've seen something else with someone getting lit on fire. I can't. Oh! How Awful About Alan.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. I remember How Awful About Alan.
You weren't. You didn't watch it with me, but you went and watched it.
I did. I watched it on my own. That was the one where the guy is blind and he's driving.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I think it's at the beginning. His father is set on fire, and it's
Okay. That's not the one I'm thinking of, but that definitely was a Man on Fire.
That was a Man on. Maybe we've had a few men on fire. Maybe more than I realized. If any of our audience out there, you guys want to do the digging into the archive, figure out what our Man on Fire movie is that we can't think of right now. Yeah.
Man, how awful about Roderick?
How awful about Roderick? I mean, he's
got those crazy eyes. I'm really digging the performance.
Yeah, the actor Jean Debacourt. I think that's how you say it. It's spelled Debucourt.
Okay.
Debucourt, but I would imagine Debucourt. You know, and obviously Jean, Jean. He was a prolific French actor, but he didn't really ever cross over and do like Hollywood films or British films. He kind of was exclusive to France, and I didn't see anything in the filmography that I was like, oh yeah, people know about this. Now, I could be very ignorant. I will totally admit I'm not the biggest fan of French cinema in general. But controversial statement. Yeah, I mean, he didn't really have too much. But he's doing a great job here. He's knocking it out of the park. Someone in the chat said Basil Rathbone vibes. I would agree with that. Madeline's being played by Marguerite Gantz, or Gantz, I don't know how they're going to pronounce it. But she's the wife of film director Abel Gantz, who is best known for his epic 5-hour film Napoleon, which he made the year before tonight's film, 1927.
So also silent.
Also silent and also like very artistic. But it's 5 hours, and apparently the whole last act they like employed some kind of like super ultra widescreen like shooting that they only ever showed once, but they literally had like 3 projectors like lined up, and each one sometimes it would show like different things, and sometimes it was just
That's
like
crazy.
Yeah, 5 hours.
So when are we watching that?
Yeah, right. When are we gonna watch Napoleon? I don't know about that.
Is it public domain?
It is. I mean, I need to double check. I'm pretty sure it is. But that director, Abel Gantz, was he was one of the people in the tavern at the beginning of this movie. I don't know which one he was. There were a few people in there, a few men. So he was one of those men in the tavern because his wife is playing Madeline here. So. And she was also in Napoleon, so, yeah, I mean, those are 2 main, I mean, again, our friend of Roderick, I don't even know his name, Mr. Monopoly, I think that's the easiest thing to call him right now. He's fun. I don't have any information on him, though, so that's on me. Anything before we get into the exciting middle of the fall of the House of Usher, Evan?
I don't know. Let's bring this house down.
All right. Well, on that note, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the exciting middle of the fall of the House of Usher right now. Oh, Scott, was he really just the traveler? Okay. Baguette. I know that one. Baguette magic. Oh my god. A magic baguette, guys.
Yeah, that's probably what that means, right? Roderick, you're blowing our candle budget. We talked about this. The painting wasn't a thing in the original, was it?
No. Apparently, that's elements of another Poe story, though.
Good.
The oval circle, or portrait. Nice looking that. Thank you for looking that up, Kathy. Magic wand. Magic bat. It's not baguette. It's wand. I'm posing for you like this. Is this what you want?
Quick, paint me, quick.
I don't have the stamina for this. I'm deathly ill.
We're having a fire.
Sam. Oh, I love that, Scott. Crazy. He looks like a wild man.
Jeez.
It's like that Snorri cam shot that you see all the time now by 1928. And he looks insane. That's amazing. Magnetism. It's, you know, using magnets to cure what ails you.
Gonna save my sister with magnets. My wife, sorry.
My sister wife. Ah, is that Valdemar, Scott? Okay. I don't think I've actually read Valdemar. I mean, I've seen adaptations of the story, but that would make sense with the adaptations I've seen. Now this is a little more expressionistic.
Now that he's losing his mind.
That's a good point. Ooh,
yeah, what is
like
up with
that?
These? Yeah.
We're walking, we're talking. This is the first time anybody's done this. Doc, you gotta believe me. I can bring her back. That's exactly what he says. Light box. It's not gonna hold up very long. Or it's just a really strong servant. One or the other. Back in those days, I guess servants had to really be able to pull their own weight.
They don't make servants like they used to.
No, they really don't.
Man, where are we with these spiky chains? Is this the fall of Bowser's castle? Fall of the House of Bowser?
Yeah, Sears, I guess you kind of technically won that trivia. I worked out all the bugs, don't worry. We're going to be rearing to go on Wednesday.
Yeah. Yeah, congrats, Sears, our reigning trivia champion.
It's going to reset, don't worry. It'll all reset. Slow. Thank you, sir. God. They just don't light like they used to, man. Old lights had a look. Fucking LEDs, they don't do this shit. The butler's back. I'm not involved in this. I'm just listening to the doctor.
I have done my part. He was gonna stake her heart. That's the other difference in this adaptation.
She's a vampire.
She's a vampire.
We gotta spice Poe up a little bit.
Yeah.
the gothic sad boy stuff is not enough. We need some.
Where's the excitement? Where's the romance? Let's throw a ghoul in there. Throw a goblin. It wasn't a heart under the floorboards. It was just actually a ghost.
That's fun.
This almost looks like an album cover.
Like, the music is just timing up. I didn't even do that, dude. It's like he directed them to walk in this phase.
Yeah, I've never seen a veil on a coffin before.
It looks like it's coming out of the coffin. Like they couldn't fit it in. They didn't want to stuff it in, so they just put the lid on over top. Bury me with my curtains. This house shall stay cold forever. That's why they have all the candles around heaven. They're just trying to keep the house hot. This is how I keep my house hot.
On candle power.
They just float away in the wind. Whoa. This is like some found footage, scary shit.
Whoa.
It's a little more expressionistic.
Yeah.
Oh, now, okay, yeah.
Has that been out this whole time?
Heartbroken. Slow-mo, dude. Bee's Nest, you're right on time. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well tonight. Whoa, I'm sorry. I didn't realize we were going to be getting adult content in here tonight. Hold on now. My apologies for that. What's the metaphor here? The juxtaposition of the two frogs humping and the owl. Sorry, two toads humping and the owl. Like they keep doing it, so like it's supposed to mean something. These trees are crazy. And that's actually going to take us to our second break. So,
we're really flying along here,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're 2/3 of the way through The Fall of the House of Usher.
Short movie.
What are we thinking so far, Evan?
I feel like I'm not gonna be able to get the funeral march out of my head.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy, right? The way that.
Yeah.
you know, because again, like I said, in my mind, I was like trying to go with big bombastic stuff, but it did suggest the funeral march, and I was like, yeah, maybe there'll come a point where I can use it. And then, like, when they were doing the coffin stuff in the house, it's like, I don't think this is it. And then when we got to like the funeral outside, the blue tinting, I was like, okay, here. And then like there's another song kind of cut in the middle of it. There's funeral march, and then when they go into the crypt, there's a different song, and then when they're leaving the crypt, we're back to funeral march again. So it's, you know,
I really loved where they were like stamping through the mud to the
I know, dude, how crazy was it? I mean, but just the way that sequence was shot and done, you know, like that's the thing. It's not like you're not gonna see a lot of silent movies at that time that are gonna spend like the care and attention to that funeral march that they took there with the close-ups and just the time. Right, like an American standard silent film would have just covered that from a wide, and then we would cut to another like kind of wide, and it wouldn't have been, you know, like the way it was cutting to like close-ups of Usher's face, and then his POV of like the trees, and then back to Usher, back to the trees, like the frogs and the owl, like
it's a whole
the way that they like, they don't just show you a glimpse of a image, they'll like cut back to it multiple times, and it's like, okay, well, there's got to be some kind of significance. I don't know, like these are art films, like this is what they do, right? This is the fun of these kind of movies. I mean, would you say this has been a fun movie so far?
Yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying myself.
I mean, compared to some of the other silent films that we've seen, I think again, the pace is just very quick, right? Like,
yeah, it's so quick, and we're seeing some really nice stuff with the camera that we really don't usually see from, you know, silent films.
Big time. I mean, just the general cinematography, which I think it was two brothers. It was a team of brothers, and they're clearly, they're not overdoing it, right? Like, it's not too much. They're not just constantly trying to move the camera and constantly trying to. It's very deliberate. Everything feels very deliberate, and when you can just superimposing the candles, like with the funeral march, you know, it's that kind of stuff. Like, and just a moving camera with like all the tricks the editing can give you. It's a lot more than just stationary shot, which is like most American silent films at this time. So it's been pretty enjoyable. And so like the whole funerals, obviously, like the whole centerpiece of the Usher story is this idea that Madeline is buried alive, buried and comes. I don't know. Is it kind of left open to interpretation, or is it like pretty clear that like she wasn't really dead and she was just buried alive, essentially?
Yeah, that's how I remember it going. She comes back and she's unburied herself.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's essentially how, I mean, again, the Roger Corman adaptation plays it. You know, she's declared dead, but she's really not dead, and she breaks out of her tomb, and you know, in that movie it is her brother, and she comes after him. And you know, Vincent Price is the brother, and he doesn't have a mustache, and he's got white hair, and so it's a fun, like, that's the thing, that's like that's the first Edgar Allan Poe movie that Vincent Price did out of 8 or 9. So it was that's the most that he looks kind of different. Although the last movie, it's kind of the same way. I think they shave his mustache and they put like a brown curly wig on him, and he looks very different. We're going to see the trailer for that. What we're going to see at this break, we're going to see the trailers for 2 Edgar Allan Poe adaptations from Roger Corman. But the central theme of both of these movies, even though they're not House of Usher, is being buried alive. Which, again, it's just a consistent theme in Poe's work, it seems, right? Like, are all the, like, Tomb of Ligeia, that's the second trailer we'll see. So, the first one is The Premature Burial, which I'm not necessarily familiar with that Poe story, but that is I guess a Poe story, and then the other, The Tomb of Ligeia. Both of these are about people being buried alive, or they have a fear of being buried alive, and then they are buried alive. And so that's just a common Poe theme, right?
Cask of Amontillado. That's
being walled up. So it's just a consistent Poe theme, right? It just something that he's
maybe Poe was afraid of being buried alive.
I guess that's got to be it.
You write what you know, right?
Right. Yeah. So that's what I'm afraid of. Yeah. Write it up. It seems like he recycled that a lot, or at least, for the movies anyway, it was a very popular device. So The Premature Burial, and I think that was the second, third, fourth Poe movie that Roger Corman did. And then the second trailer that we'll see, The Tomb of Ligeia, that was the last Poe movie that Roger Corman did. And The Tomb of Ligeia stars Vincent Price. And most of Corman's Poe movies starred Vincent Price, but The Premature Burial does not star Vincent Price. It stars Ray Milland, because Corman was like, okay, I need a change. I don't want to... Vincent has his way of doing it. I want a different approach for this film, for this character. I want to play it a little differently. So he got Ray Milland, who is an Academy Award-winning actor, but also at this time was kind of starting to, he started a Corman movie called X, The Man with X-Ray Eyes, and of course notoriously appeared in the AIP but non-Corman eco-horror film Frogs. And then The Thing with Two Heads, where he's a racist old white man and his head is put on the body of a black inmate. We watched that one time.
Yeah,
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember. There's like an extended dirt bike scene.
Right, dude. That was the same day that we saw a little bit of Dracula versus Frankenstein, which we were talking about last week, and we were like, I don't really. And we weren't paying attention to that, but we did pay attention to the dirt bike scene.
Yeah.
That's what we remember, right? The Thing with Two Heads, the dirt bike scene. Ray Milland, it's funny, he was an Academy Award-winning actor, but 60s, 70s, he took these jobs at American International Pictures doing these ridiculous movies, and he is he's a good actor. He's very good, and if you want to put him in a caliber above Vincent Price, I think you could argue that. I love Vincent Price. He's one of my favorite actors, but Ray Milland is good, so I can understand why Corman would have wanted to change it up. But in Premature Burial, his character is terrified of being buried alive. He's buried alive. Tomb of Ligeia.
According to the chat, that was a common fear back in the day.
Being buried alive.
How often was that happening, that people were afraid of it? Were they just chucking bodies in the ground, like drunk as hell, just whatever, just put them in?
Well, I think it's more probably being declared dead by a doctor or by somebody, even though you got something, some kind of condition that makes you appear dead. I don't know if it's that. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, when you have a lover from a rival family, and the priest doesn't get there in time, the doctor's drunk as hell. Just chuck him in the ground.
Chuck him. I'll sign whatever I gotta sign. Let's just get this done. I got other things to do. Yeah. I mean, again, that's I guess why Poe milked this so much. I guess it was a genuine fear that many people had. Again, you want to appeal to people. You find what a lot of people are afraid of. I think Poe kind of tapped into that fear of being. I think in Ligeia, she's buried where you can see or that she has some way to communicate if she's buried alive, which other not Poe movie but was inspired by Poe that we've seen on the show that I didn't mention that I totally forgot about until just now. The Blancheville Monster, that Italian movie. Do you remember the Blancheville Monster?
I remember watching it.
It was a woman is buried alive, or she's worried she's gonna be buried alive, and then she is buried alive. That's why I just thought of it, because that was, again, it wasn't a straight Poe adaptation, but they were taking elements from Poe stories. So that's another one. Look at that. We're crossing them all. We're making sure to get them all. So that's good. But yeah, I mean, Poe, again, he's associated with that whole idea of being buried alive. So we'll get these two Poe adaptation trailers from Roger Corman directed films, and then when we come back, we'll get to the exciting conclusion of The Fall of the House of Usher. Stick around, we'll be right back.
Just the two of us. Together.
A woman possessed by love. A man obsessed by terror. Only Edgar Allan Poe, who knew intimately the tortures of madness, could create such ever-increasing suspense. Only an artist of unique talent and unusual sensitivity could live so demanding a role, believing he is destined to be buried alive. No matter who he destroyed, no matter how desperately he fought, his life became a nightmare of death.
No! You're dead! No.
Until reality and madness became one.
If his father was prematurely interred.
I heard his voice.
All right, then prove it.
I will.
You are about to enjoy an experience in extreme terror.
I'm alive. Can't you hear me? I'm alive, alive, alive. Someone help me.
cheer.
She will not die because she willed not to die.
Ligeia, the tale of terror Edgar Allan Poe thought his greatest. The masterfully macabre performance of Vincent Price together bring to life the undead, to haunt the living. What is the strange infatuation that draws a lady to the Stygian stranger who lives with his terrifying black cat in a castle of dark, somber mystery?
Seeing you and seeing her.
Yet when you thought I was Ligeia, you tried to attack me.
You must trust me. Give over your will to mine. No harm will come to you. Give over your will to mine.
The strangest love story ever told, making her life a nightmare of heart-stopping horror, such as few humans have ever survived.
And we are back. So that was the trailers for The Premature Burial and The Tomb of Ligeia. No, we have not done The Black Cat. Hey, when the Universal Black Cat is public domain, I'm good and ready to go. Even though it's not even close to being an adaptation of Poe's story at all. Like, it doesn't even do the walling up. Like, that's not a factor in the story.
They keep the cat, though, right?
They keep... Yeah, there's black cats.
There's a cat.
The whole way that they include it is that Lugosi's character has this, what is Karloff? Karloff says it in a wild way. He says... what does he say? He has not a never ending. It's like something, but it's something like he's like the never ending horror of cats. That's how with his list. That's how he says it. And because right before that, Lugosi fucking picks up a knife and chucks it at this black cat when it comes up. Lugosi like sees it and goes, "Huh!" and throws a knife, and you hear "Row!" and then Karloff is just like, haha, he has a fear of cats. And it just gets weirder from that. I love that movie. It's so good, dude. But yeah, there's no walling up. It's just more about Karloff v. Lugosi, dude. That's what it's all about. And with some kind of Poe-ish. There's not even Buried Alive isn't really a thing. Yeah, it's not even... The closest thing they did was audition a bunch of black cats. Karloff and Lugosi. Fucking... There's a great promo video of them like a line of children holding black cats.
Really?
And Karloff and Lugosi are like... And then Corman did the same thing when he adapted Black Cat for his anthology movie Tales of Terror.
Wow.
They had a Black Cat audition.
They had an open
Yeah, it's a whole
audition for cats.
for cats. Yeah.
Just amateur. We're like, you know, like you know, like you have like a professional pet, like actor, like a really well trained,
right?
Like Rex the Wonder Horse. Or something.
Yeah, of course,
unnamed.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Was that always a thing, or did you have a period of time where you just had like a bunch of like amateur animals in movies?
I think more often than not, it was probably amateur animals. And
Whatever
then,
cat we could round up.
Right, exactly. Oh, we just need it for this one shot. If it's the center of the movie, then yeah, you probably need something that's a little more trained. There's a horror movie that's going to be coming out this year. I can't remember what it's called, but it's all from the perspective of this dog.
Oh.
And
okay.
It's the director's dog. Like, it's his own dog that he's like, and he incorporates footage that he has of the dog from like all through its like life. But the movie is about like, if like, you know, the dog's owner like discovers he's in a haunted house, but it's all from the dog's perspective.
That's
right?
cool.
And it's supposed to be like an incredible like 100% Rotten Tomatoes like movie. And it was just this indie guy being like, yeah, I want to make this horror movie from a dog's perspective. I'm just gonna use my own dog. And you gotta love it. It's I gotta see it. It sounds great. There's a trailer out for it. You can watch that if you want, but I don't like to watch. Again, even the trailers we just showed, like, they spoil the movie.
They spoil too much.
They spoil too much. Speaking of spoiling too much, I mean, again, you know, everybody kind of knows how this story's going to play out.
Right.
But, I mean, how are we feeling about the end? What are we, you know?
Well, I mean, I've been wrong earlier tonight. Maybe it's... Maybe we're gonna get some kind of crazy twist.
What do you see? What would be the? What's that look like?
She actually did die.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
See that.
And then the house still falls apart, but that's
yeah. Well, you know, one thing I was like a little confused at early on was it almost seemed like they were implying that Madeline was not real. She's just a figment of Roderick's imagination.
Did they?
But I don't think they actually did. I think I just interpreted it that way because of the way that, like, you know, when we first meet Roderick, he's with Madeline, and then when his friend comes, Madeline's nowhere to be seen. Like, Madeline's not around the doctor, not around any other... Like, she disappears, and then when those characters leave, she comes back.
Huh.
And then, like, even when she fell on the floor, and the doctor, the friend, the traveler, almost tripped on her, it looked like it was just, like, a rug on the floor. It didn't look like a person. But, Roderick picks her up and runs around with her, and... So, it's, I mean, ultimately, I don't think, doing the whole funeral, obviously, she's got to be real. But it just...
Unless they're just humoring him.
Right, sorry, fat fingers. Yes, exactly. Unless they're just humoring him. I don't know. But yeah, I mean,
that would be wild.
Yeah. Maybe there will be a twist. Yeah. We'll see. On that note, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the exciting conclusion of The Fall of the House of Usher right now. Maybe his sister was really a rug. Well, in that other Usher short, Madeline turned into a hat, and she turned into a, she was shapeshifter. We got a black cat.
Well, you know what we haven't seen is any kind of crack in this house, right?
Not really, no. Not that I could tell.
Yeah. Maybe this house won't fall.
And is that a pendulum that we're seeing? Now we just need a pit.
From below, like we're in some kind of pit.
I believe this is Mozart. This is actually his unfinished Requiem. He died before he could even finish it.
It was so good, he died.
This is the Zart, man. Z-Man. Madeline. Roderick Madeline. The only time in my life I ever wish I could read French. That's why there were toads. Okay. We're connecting the dots here.
The dots are all toads.
Oh, that's cool, Thomas. Wild. This bell was just in this song, dude. I just happened to get it to sync up on the first bell, and it's crazy. I like to do the walk and talk in this movie. That must have been pretty early for the walk and talk. Just a slight draft. God, this house got a lot warmer. Keep it up. I have no clue. Planches. I wish I knew what planches. I feel like I should know what they are. I don't see a crack, but I mean, it's the side of the house. How's her veil sticking out of the whole crypt? Thought we shoved that thing in there. I distinctly remember.
That thing's got a mind of its own.
Oh, it must. French, yeah, there you go. Courageous move? Okay, cool. I think I know what that means. Terrible. I think I know what terrible means too.
All of the books of Usher.
Damn! It's like bringing down the statue of Saddam.
Yeah, imagine if they didn't have to pull on the ropes and everything. It just kind of flopped over.
Just the wind blew it right over.
Yeah.
She's back. Roderick, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
This whole place is on fire.
Your fireplace shouldn't be going this hard. It's 20 yards long. I can't see. It's not falling so much as burning right now.
Burning of the house.
My beautiful painting.
It's like pretty hellish in here.
I got you. I got you. Blowing up. The house is blowing up. I think it's... Is it? It's falling. It's falling. Okay, we gotta fall. See, I don't know what that is. They showed that shot earlier in the film, like around when Madeline was being buried, but I don't know.
Is that the owl?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. Well, that was The Fall of the House of Usher. What did we think, Evan?
I thought it was pretty good. I'm really kind of like tripped out by your theory now. Like I don't really know what to.
Oh, whether she was real or not?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, were they just burying an empty coffin to placate Roderick? It's crazy.
Could be.
Could
be.
Yeah.
I mean, if she was real, so in the story, in the book, like, they both die? Or does she live and he dies?
I just always, my immediate frame of mind goes to the Vincent Price version of the film. And in that, she strangles him while the house is burning and falling to the ground.
Yeah.
So
maybe there's a few different ways of telling the
the ending. You can kind of, it's flexible.
Yeah.
Right?
So with this one, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there wasn't. Was he killing her? Was that implied to be what was happening?
I don't think they were playing it that way.
It didn't seem like they were.
No, it really didn't.
Yeah.
No, it seemed. Well, with the painting stuff, though.
That's true.
That was
very. I guess it was. Maybe that was implying that there.
Right, when he would do a stroke and then she'd touch her cheek, it's like, is he taking energy from her? Is he drawing? You know, is he slowly killing her? And I think the subtitles, if we could have read them, I think they would have implied that she had some kind of illness and it was getting like worse and worse and worse. And, you know, Roderick just kind of paints her and does I need you to sit.
So much of this is like lost in translation.
Right.
I feel like
but just the imagery of it, though, I feel like it tells a story enough that you can appreciate it without needing. It would be nice to understand the subtitles, but I don't think it's, you know.
Well, from a purely visual standpoint, I mean, it's pretty nice.
It tells the story, right? And the editing is, I think the editing is what kind of makes it all, because even when they do hold on certain great shots, they hold on them for like the perfect long amount of time. Like, they'll sit on a great shot, and I think other people would be more inclined to go ahead and cut and give you more and cut fast. But like, that's the thing, they cut fast when they needed to, but when they needed to linger on a shot that was really good, they did. And like, that's very fine-tuned editing. That's not just like, I'm cutting it fast. That's, I know what needs to be cut fast and I know what needs to be cut slow. And that nuance is, you know, it gives a little something else. So yeah, I don't know. I really like that movie. Like,
and again, good job on the soundtrack.
Thank you. And Alana, you know, everybody that gave me a shout out for that, I appreciate it. Like, because it was just so last minute. I didn't think I would realistically get it together, because usually when I have that idea like that, it's like, there's no time. But chat did put me on the right track, like, honestly, for better or for worse. And I just, I mean, I kind of arranged things. Like, it would give me a track, and then I'd be like, oh, wait, no, this is going to be good 20 minutes later or 30 minutes later. And so it was like just kind of arranging things. And then I got lucky when shit synced up, and a lot of stuff synced up. Like, I mean, but I would have, like, the ending, I had to ask, like, maybe 5 to 10 times before it gave me the suggestion that I ended up with, right? Like, it would give me something and it'd be like, well, I've already used this, or this isn't working. I've tried this, it doesn't sound good. And then it eventually gave me what I needed. And that was like, for different parts of the movie, it was like, all right, this is close, but I need more of this, or I need more of that. Give me something different in this vein. It worked out. I'm glad I got it done. It definitely made the movie more fun. You know, like, I hate a slow score on a silent movie. You know, like I don't mean to, but just like
You're
a
really
piano
trying to
or,
put somebody to sleep.
right, or a MIDI, just kind of, it just is like so boring when you can actually add, you know, just classical music. Like people underestimate the power of classical music. And I say this as a lifelong classical music fan. And when I say that, I mean like I was listening to NPR to go to bed when they would play classical music from like age 5 until I went to college, I think. Maybe in high school I stopped for a little bit, then I started again. I like to listen to classical music, go to sleep. Hadn't done it in a long time, done it here and there, intermittently since, but like, I love classical music.
Yeah,
I think it's great.
I can only fall asleep if I hear the piano puzzler.
Right, yeah. I need to be mathematically lured into sleep. Yeah, I mean, classical music is just kind of the way that it can go, and all it can be serious, it can be kind of intense, it can be happy, it can be sad, it can be everything, right? Like you feel that with classical music, right?
Yeah,
like it makes you feel like you know what it's going for when you hear it in your ear. So I love that about classical music, and that's what was fun about doing this tonight. So I'm glad I got it together. So I appreciate everybody's kind words. And yeah, next silent film, if it doesn't have a good soundtrack, I'll try to do the same justice to it. Because Cat and Canary, that's one if I could go back and try to use this method and get a score together, I would. Because, you know, I'd hate to watch a silent movie really silent. Because in the theaters,
a dead silent movie,
somebody was playing music. Most of the time, you had an organist or a pianist. You had some kind of score, or you had some kind of accompaniment. Even just the people that were employed by the theaters to play accompaniment knew, like, oh, well, this is a motif I play if I see a bad guy, or this is a motif if the hero. Like, they could just kind of improv as they saw the things playing out on screen. And I think that's the beauty of just kind of classical music, is it has those motifs. And so yeah, fun way to enjoy a silent Edgar Allan, because Edgar Allan Poe in general, come on, he's a master, right? We can't deny that. So it was nice to see an adaptation of one of his classic stories that, yeah, it was a silent film, but it was actually really well made, really well done. So where do you think this falls for Poe adaptations for you? Do you put it in any particular like spot or space? Or?
Gosh, you know,
I mean, again, the ones we've seen, at least if you want to judge it from that angle.
Yeah, I mean, if we're just putting this in if this is the third, then I mean, Dr. Tars was such a wild ride.
It really was.
That it's honestly kind of hard to top that. I remember liking Don't Look in the Basement, but I don't know. I don't know if maybe pending a rewatch of that one, I might put tonight's in number 2.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think
unless that was the one where the guy was on fire, because I remember.
Oh no! Okay? I remember now. I know. Don't you love this? You're thinking of Silent Night, Bloody Night.
That's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't you see how eventually we got to it? Eventually my brain could trigger it. Yes. Yeah. Because that was the one, that's how the movie opens. And
right.
It is so
guy
intense.
Walks up on fire.
Yeah, he literally walked. He's It's pretty great. It's pretty great. We had a lot of fun with that one. Yeah, that's what it was. I'm glad we answered that question before that. Yeah, we got there. We answered that question before the end of the stream. You gotta love it. Yeah, so I think for the Poe adaptations we've seen, obviously it's a classic story. Yeah, right. I mean, very true to form. Very true to form. Yeah, I mean, I hope we can get more Poe adaptations. I think Poe is good for the fall. As
definitely.
We're starting to get into fall.
We're getting into spooky season.
Yeah, we are. Well, we're technically in our.
We're in it.
season.
We're in it. Yeah.
Sorry, fat fingers. We're technically in our spooky season.
Yeah,
right now.
for me, it's so tomorrow I'm gonna try to hang up on my Halloween decorations. And I think that for me, that's when I really get into the fall mindset.
I love that. I think you can't celebrate Halloween early enough. And B, yeah, I think we are going to get more of like a natural fall, at least in our neck of the woods. And so we might as well go ahead and welcome it now. Let's bring it in. Let's
manifest autumn.
Absolutely. I'm noticing a tinge of like brownness to the leaves. Okay.
Definitely.
It's starting. Because
stuff is falling.
Right. Where we're at, we on at least the past 3 to 5 years have just gotten a week of like true fall where the temperatures are cool and the leaves are a great color.
Yeah.
And like ideally we maybe get 2 to 3 weeks.
It's always ephemeral.
Exactly. Ephemeral. That's it. That's the word.
So put on your scarf, get your pumpkin latte while you can.
I mean, it's already fall at Starbucks, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's out. And you know what? You know what I saw the other day?
What?
Frankenberry.
Oh, so is that maybe gonna work its way into the? Sorry, fat fingers.
It could. I could do any of them. There's so many of them now.
Okay.
If I go to the right store, apparently.
Fruit Brute or Booberry?
Yeah, we could be getting into some Fruit Brute.
There's a mummy one. What is it?
Yummy Mummy.
Yummy Mummy.
Gummy Mummy.
Could
be. Oh gosh, like gummy bear cereal.
Gummy Mummy sounds like a weed gummy though. It sounds like something you'd find in a gas station.
Yeah, it does.
But no, that's good because Evan's got to keep his catalog for cocktails because the drinks keep coming, the movies keep coming, and next week we're going to be bringing you a little, again, when we do a silent movie, then the pendulum swings back in the other direction.
Right across the pit.
Right. Yeah. We're down in the pit watching the pendulum swing back the other way from silence to I think like the if you want to go in the complete opposite like end of the pendulum, then I think you're talking about like gore, right? You're talking about a little more intensity in that direction. So next week, actually, we've kind of shown this before. You won't find this on our channel, and like technically we didn't watch like tonight's movie with me. Technically we didn't watch it. But we were presenting it. This was way back when we did our first Friday the 13th special. We showed a little film entitled "The Undertaker and His Pals," and it was like we were doing all these sketches.
We were doing costume changes,
right?
So we didn't actually get to watch the movie.
Exactly. And so I said, well, maybe later we'll watch it and we'll do it justice like a normal show. Well, this is it. So we're gonna check that off the list. And again, it's a horror comedy. It's definitely a very goofy comedy, but it's also part splatter film. There's like intense gore and stuff. So you gotta, I appreciate the balance of comedy, and if you're gonna do great, because the other gore, we'll break it all down next week, but obviously splatter films were a whole thing, and I think this is a little tame compared to some of the other ones, but I think the humor is also better. It'll be a lot of fun, so you can tune in for that next week, and of course next Wednesday, tentatively, we will be back for the true kickoff of our Scream Stream minisodes, starting with probably do 2 chapters, 1 and 2 of Mystery of the Riverboat.
Yeah, and sorry everybody, we were gonna get started on that this week. I had some family stuff I had to take care of, so we're pushing it out to next week.
And all the better that we can all start on the same page. I don't want to leave everybody behind. And the great thing about last night was
I was worried I was gonna miss the boat. The riverboat.
You didn't? No, I would not. I would never let you miss the riverboat. A, and B, we got to work out the bugs, right? We got to figure out what, again, like the reason that the trivia crapped out on the third question was because there were too many characters for a YouTube chat message. So it just, it was a simple fix. I've worked out all the bugs. Multiple things from last night you guys helped me out with, so I really appreciate you all tuning in, hanging out for that, and helping me work through that. And when we get started next week with Mystery of the Riverboat, and that trivia will be off to the races. And again,
I can't wait to see this trivia bot in action.
Yeah, it should be fun. And again, everybody, week to week, your points will add up, so it helps if you play along every week, and if somebody misses, maybe you can get ahead or get behind. It'll be through the whole season, and the winner gets a special prize. So it's gonna be worth it. So start with us next week, most likely Wednesday. There's a chance maybe Thursday. That's why I'm saying it that way. But Wednesday's usually when we do the minisodes, so that's what we'll try to do. So yeah, and of course Saturday Night Shocker tomorrow. And after that, back next week with Undertaker and his pals. So anything before we sign off tonight, Evan?
So if your theory was correct and Madeline was just a figment of Roderick's imagination, maybe they didn't need to show any kind of fissure in the house. Roderick himself was the crack.
All along, that's the twist, of course. Fat Finger, sorry. Yes. And before we sign off, all of our good friends that tuned in tonight, we really appreciate it. Alana, James, Kathy, Sears, Thomas, Tom O, Fresh, TDR, aka Drunk Review. Really appreciate you being out with us. Ty, Scott, William, Jack, Joe, everybody else that tuned in tonight. We really had a great time. Kathy, did I not say Kathy? I better have said Kathy. I better have said Jack, Scott, Joe. Joe is right here. If I missed anybody, really appreciate you tuning in. And until next week, sweet screams, everybody.
To all a good fright.
There it is. There it is.